Welcome to EOD33 Wrestling Hub. I'm your host, the end of days 33, and today we're going to be doing a recap of WWE EVOLVE for May 21st, 2025. And that's going to begin right now. All right. First match evening was a fatal four-way play-in for the last spot for the women's fatal four-way elimination match for next week's for the EVOLVE Women's Championship. It was Zayda Steel. She came out with the Vanity Project. Kylie Rae, Aria Bennett, and Chantel Monroe. Those were your four ladies for it. And it was a good match. Aria Bennett had like some different gear on. He's wearing like all black now. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the filming, but I've noticed that a lot of them, their outfits are different than when EVOLVE first started, like about 2 months ago. To me, I like the match. It was a nice little fatal four-way match. You got Kylie Rae as the veteran, showing everybody kind of where to go. It was back and forth. It was actually longer than I thought it would be, which is good. A lot of fast-paced moves, a lot of spots and everything, which I was kind of surprised about. But overall, I really liked the match. And turns out Kylie Rae ended up winning this match, and she will be in the fatal four-way, well, not fatal four-way, the four-way elimination match next week. So basically what it is you got four ladies, and each one has to be pinned until there's one person left. So it's an eliminator match, not a fatal four-way. So you probably won't be seeing people break up pins, that kind of stuff. That's going to be next week. And I'm kind of glad that Kylie Rae's in it, because she does got a storyline going on with Wendy Chu. And then you have like your two veterans to kind of control the match with the two newbies. Well, I don't want to say newbies, but yeah, they're newer to the industry. So yeah, so that's basically what happened with that match. Chantel Monroe, I think she's gonna do, I don't want to say reverse turn, because right now she's a heel, but it seems like she might be a nice person, and she's just got a lot of bravado. So yeah. All right. So enough about that match. On to the next thing on the card, which was Keanu Carver is still pissed off from last week about Harlem Lewis leaving him high and dry and attacking him. So basically, he was just cutting a promo because that will be the main event today. Keanu Carver versus Harlem Lewis, play-in match for a spot in the men's EVOLVE Eliminator Championship match. So that's basically what happened there. It was a good promo. It was like, said what he had to go say and everything, basically. So, you know, they've been eyeballing each other for months, which is true. Ever since the very first thing where Shawn Michaels was introducing everybody, they were standing next to each other, and I'm like, good storytelling. Good storytelling. Was able to pull all that back. We didn't know it then. Now we see. So that was good. So next thing was all right. Next thing on the card was Chewy kind of interviewing Oro Mensah, because he was about to have a match with Edris Enofe. I really messed up that man's last name a lot on the last stream and everything. I just knew him as Edris, like his Enofe is his last name. So they had a match. We're just gonna go ahead and segue into. We're not gonna like cut it, because basically the interview was like pretty short and everything. So Oro comes out, Enofe comes out, and they had a really, really good match. I still feel bad that Oro Mensah has been let go by the company, because he's got skill. He's got skill. Lots of high flying spots and everything. But Edris Enofe, he was able to pull it out in the end. This is the part that surprised me, because after he won the match, Chewy came out, which that's not a surprise. But what was surprised was that the PM, Stevie Turner, came out and offered him a spot in the men's four-way eliminator championship match for the EVOLVE Championship. So right now we have Sean Legacy, Edris Enofe, the winner of the Keanu Carver Harlem Lewis match, and then one more spot that's left. That's basically what they're doing, because the women's is next week, the men's is the following week, which I do like the fact that they did it that way. So the women get their chance to shine, men get their chance to shine, instead of having both matches on the same card. So I like that. All right, next on the card. Next on the card was Harlem Lewis's turn. Cut his promo, basically about how much he don't like Keanu Carver. So he cut his promo, basically kind of the same thing Keanu said, because like I said, they've hated each other since day one. It was always going to be a collision course. Now, what I thought was going to happen, they were both going to be in a championship match, but this was a nice way of doing it, having them both fight against each other to see who's going to go in a championship match. Because I thought it was a foregone conclusion that it was going to be both of them in the match. So it was a good segment and everything. I actually like the fact that they did talk their trash back and forth in a segment format. So, all right, next thing on the card. All right, next thing on the card. It seems like we have a serial attacker on the show, because it cuts away. I forgot to mention this because this happened before the Harlem Lewis promo. This happened right after Idris won his match. They called Stevie Turner to the back, and it turns out that Dani Palmer got attacked. Remember last week it was Brittany Reese. Now it's Dani Palmer. I do have a theory on that. I think Brittany Reese wasn't really attacked. She could have been faking it like Eddie Thorpe did. And maybe she attacked Dani Palmer to make it look like, oh, there's someone going around attacking people. Maybe. I don't know. That's just a theory I have. So after that, well, this leads into the next thing, because basically Vanity Project comes up. Because with the whole Vanity Project. So Brad was talking about like telling people on commentary, Rosenberg and Stone, like, okay, no one cares about Dani Palmer or Brittany Reese, because everybody just cares about, there's only one woman they care about, Evolve cares about, and that's the real deal, Zayda Steel, because she's part of Vanity Project, and that how she deserves to be the Evolve Women's Champion, even though she lost the play-in match earlier in the night. But basically this was setting up their thing with they had a tag team match against Super Sean Legacy and Timothy Thatcher, because they've been having beef like for weeks now. So they decided they were gonna have a match, and this was actually pretty good. Oh, not only did they talk about Zayda Steel becoming women's champion, even though that's not gonna happen right now. Basically, they were saying Jackson Drake should be in the men's championship match. And remember, a couple weeks, oh yeah, I don't remember because I edited out the video. I'll probably upload some of the bloopers from these recordings. But I was saying how Jackson Drake has a really cool nickname. But he's got a couple nicknames, but this one I really like, the Carolina Reaper. That's a cold nickname. That's a cold nickname. I just figured I'll just throw it out. The Carolina Reaper. Anyway, so next match was like I said, Sean Legacy, Timothy Thatcher versus Swipe Right. This is a good team, and it shows that Swipe Right is a really good tag team, because they have the tag team moves and everything. They did like high spots and stuff like that. And everyone else, Swipe Right, it's not that they grew on me. Like I've always liked them from the beginning, but they kind of remind me of a 90s movie, Revenge of the Nerds. Not the nerds, but the fraternity that was in it that was always hounding the one that had Jefferson Darcy from Married with Children. For those of you who don't know, he was in Revenge of the Nerds, the first movie. So that's what they remind me of. And Sean Legacy did all his cool moves and everything. Timothy Thatcher, hard nose, but at the end, Swipe Right with a little bit of trickery, a little bit of trickeration, they end up winning the match. I forgot to say it earlier. They did try to involve themselves. Donovan tried to involve himself in the women's match on Zayda Steel's behalf by distracting the ref. Jackson grabbed the leg to put on the rope so she could get pinned, but the ref looked and saw it and threw the whole Vanity Project out. Forgot to mention that part. But yeah, this was a good match. It really makes Swipe Right into a credible threat for like tag team gold of some sort. Probably not an Evolve because I don't think there's enough tag teams to warrant a tag belt at this point. But you want to see them go up to NXT, do some more tag team matches? That's fine with me. All right. I always talk a lot about Swipe Right. All right. Next on the card. All right. Next thing on the card was Kylie Armstrong. Cut her promo on basically the whole women's division, but it was mostly who did she cut it on the most? On Kendall Gray. She called Kendall Gray Mighty Mouse. Like, want to be Mighty Mouse, and then he pretty much put Wendy Chu and Kylie Rae on notice too. Like basically, it's her belt. It's her belt to lose, and she's the face of it, and everybody knows it. I will say, I would be surprised if Kylie Armstrong didn't win the belt, because I think she probably would be the best person to win the belt. Yeah, they could give it to Kendall Gray. I don't think they're going to give it to Kylie Rae or Wendy Chu. They could, but I don't think they will. I think it's between Kylie Armstrong and Kendall Gray. I believe Wendy Chu and Kylie Rae are there to make sure, hey, they can put on a good match because, you know, they're veterans of the game. So, but it was a good promo. It did what it had to do. So, all right, next thing on the card. All right, we have a backstage promo. Basically, Kendall Gray's in the locker room with some other females. Basically, she was taken aback of what Kylie Armstrong had to say. We had Mason Holiday was back there. Who else was back there? Chantel Monroe, and what was the other lady's name? I can't remember who the other lady was. But it was another person. I think the bubbly one. I can't remember what her name is. They were back there, and basically all they were saying was more about Chantel Monroe. That's what I think something's going to happen, because it was like Holiday was like, well, Chantel's a nice person when you get to know her, but when she drops this act that she's doing, the reflection of perfection thing, then you'll get to see that. But until then, no one knows that she's really a good person. So I'm guessing they're doing something with that, some type of slow burn. I don't know what it is yet, but yeah. So that's what happened, and then what you're all looking forward to, the main event of the evening, which was Keanu Carver and Harlem Lewis. Finally, one-on-one, face-to-face, man-to-man. Keanu comes out first. Harlem Lewis comes out second. Stare down was crazy. And as soon as the bell rung, they unleashed hell. This was like just power moves after power moves after power moves. But I did like the way they did something with Harlem Lewis. He got pounced out the ring, like pounced over the top rope. It landed, and so he hurt his left leg. I know they said right, but it was really his left leg. So he was at a disadvantage for like the rest of the match, but he still got off his power move sets and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, Keanu Carver won the play-in match. He is in the Evolve Championship elimination match in 2 weeks. But it did make Harlem Lewis look strong. It didn't make him look weak, because he was able to pull off all his moves with a bad leg. So it still made him look strong, but one of them had to win, one of them had to lose. Now, here goes on some stuff in IRL, some in real life stuff. These shows are taped. They were taped a while ago, for the most part. I don't know what Keanu's status is with the WWE at the moment. No one's been able to confirm if he's even still with the company or not. Like, he might still be, but he deleted his X account, something that he posted that was wild a couple weeks ago, and he's been pretty much, no one knows what's going on with him. So since these are taped in advance, like, you still have Oro Mensah sorry, excuse me. You have Oro Mensah in the on the show. I'm not sure about Riley Osborne. I haven't seen him a while on the show. But you still got Javi Burnell still on the show because it taped a while ago. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like no spoilers for the championship match. Honestly, I don't know. I don't like look up Evolve spoilers or anything like that. But this is some real life stuff that's going on. So who's to say if he doesn't win the championship in 2 weeks? I don't know. I actually thought Sean Legacy. At first, I thought it was gonna be between Harlem Lewis and Keanu Carver. Sorry, why I said Keanu Carver. But then they've been showing Sean Legacy, and I'm like, man, he's really good. And the fact that he was the only one that was put in the match and didn't have to qualify, besides Idris this week, but he basically won a match, so it's like that's a little bit different. And the fact he's been on NXT a lot, showing out, I was like, wow, maybe they might make him champion. But then I saw him on this past week's episode of NXT, and I'm like, he's really, really good. To the point was like, does he need the Evolve Championship? They could just kind of put him to NXT if they really wanted to. But like I said, I don't know when this was filmed, so maybe because it was filmed a while ago, maybe he became champion. So you got to let that ride out. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who won the championship. So yeah, that's pretty much Evolve for this week. So luckily, a little shorter than the last couple of weeks and everything. But next week we will be live, sort of. I'm going to do a live stream of Evolve on Wednesday. We're going to watch it, and because the women are going to have their Fatal 4 not Fatal 4, they're going to have their 4-way eliminator match for the Evolve Championship, and that's going to be the first ever women's champion. So, historic event. So, we're going to watch that live. TV's technically not live. I'm going to go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to watch it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So everybody's welcome to come along, watch with me and the community, and we talk about the matches as they go along. I'm only doing that for the women, and the following week for the men's championship match. After that, we're going straight back to recaps. So we'll probably still do a recap video next week too for it, but the live for it only for those two shows. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. Hope you all have a good day, good night, and a pleasant tomorrow. Make sure you stay kind to one another. Make sure you wash your hands. But like I always say, you should be doing all those things anyway. I'm your host, the EOD33, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Have a good one, everyone.